From the 70s today to feeling like 7 tomorrow. The dangerous cold is just 24 hours away. I'm timing out just how long we're going to deal with this fierce freeze.
Freezing cold temperatures are coming to Central Florida. We take a look at how Marion County is preparing.
Down to the next mission to the moon, when NASA will try for a critical test in launching Artemis 2.
And how's the big drop in temps affecting the biggest drops at our theme parks? I'll show you what's being done to keep the chill from impacting the thrill.
WESH 2 News starts now.
Now at 5, a live look through our tower cameras at Ocala, where we could see some of the coldest here in Central Florida this weekend. Temperatures could drop into the teens. Let's take a look at the current temps in Central Florida. You can see we're in the upper 60s and mostly 70s in most parts.
The Florida freeze will have widespread impacts across Central Florida, so we've got you covered with team coverage in several different counties tonight.
And of course, we've got our team of expert meteorologists in-house. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jesse McGon.
And I'm Michelle Imparato. We are expecting conditions to change drastically within the next 24 hours. And one of the biggest reasons why is going to be the wind. Our team coverage begins with First Warning Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi. Tony, you've been warning us about this wind for days.
Yeah, you know, once we saw that wind advisory come out, it was a no-brainer. You got to have the impact weather for Saturday, because we're talking about potentially now tropical storm force wind gusts during the afternoon. And then the other concern is going to be the dangerous cold, both Saturday night, Sunday morning, and then Sunday night on into Monday morning. We're not even going to get out of the 40s for highs on Sunday, just to kind of give you some perspective. And as expected, as we were talking about yesterday, the watches, the extreme cold watches, have now been upgraded to warnings because of the dangerous cold. Wind chills anywhere from 7 to about 15 degrees. Freeze warnings now all across Central Florida. I want to make this crystal clear. This includes the Barrier Island in Brevard County. You are not going to be escaping this. Here comes the front now. Saturday morning, a few showers down to the south. Watch the winds pick up now. This is 5:30 Saturday afternoon. Wind gust of 40 miles an hour in St. Cloud. Models are hinting that there could even be a mixture of some wet snowflakes and some rain as early as 5:30 on Saturday, as that cold air is pushing on in. While that is going on, our storm system is cranking up there in the northeast, and then we start to get the wind off of the Gulf. A hint here of a couple of snow flurries coming in off of the Gulf. That will continue right through Sunday morning. On its closest approach, the back edge could bring maybe a few flurries to Flagler County. I don't quite think it's going to make it towards Volusia County. We'll continue to watch the trends, but the winds will still be with us all day Sunday and then gradually begin to diminish on Monday. Temperatures Sunday morning, 19 in Ocala. It's been very consistent the last 48 hours. St. Cloud, Titusville, 24, 25. Freeze duration for Flagler County, 9 to 12 hours, including Marineland and Flagler Beach. I want to take you towards Volusia County one more time. Even New Smyrna Beach, Daytona Beach, 10 to 12 hour freeze duration. It's going to be cold so soon, so quick that, again, it's a long duration freeze for the entire county, and more of the same for Brevard County, Titusville, Melbourne, Cocoa Beach, looking at about an 8 to 9 hour freeze. We'll take a look at the rest of the counties coming down I-4 for you straight ahead, guys.
All right, Tony, see you then. Now, with those temperatures, people are prepping their homes to protect the pipes, the pools, and the saunas.
WESH 2's Greg Fox is continuing our team coverage in Seminole County this evening. So, Greg, a lot of people have pools. We see that you're kneeling down next to some equipment there. Can those pipes easily break?
They cannot, and the folks we talked to at local pool stores said it is very difficult for this PVC, which carries the water to and from and runs through your filter in your pool or your sauna or both. It's very thick, very difficult for this to crack, even if water's in the line and then it freezes. But it can happen, so there are things that you can do to protect them. And as we take a look at this particular pool, one of the big questions that the pool stores are getting from people, because some have left their pools chlorinated, others have done saltwater conversions. Does one freeze more easily than the other? The simple answer is whether it's a chlorinated pool, whether you have a saltwater pool, they freeze at about the same amount. So again, either you're going to run that pump and keep it running the whole time, or you're going to turn it off and kill the power and keep your pool still. Covering Seminole County, live in Longwood, Greg Fox, WESH 2 News.
All right, Greg, and now a beautiful day today in Ocala, Marion County, as you can see from our live tower camera, but below freezing temperatures are heading our way, of course.
That's right. WESH 2's Tony Atkins is live in Marion County. Tony, officials say they're ready for it.
Yeah, Michelle, well, as we know, it's extremely rare to see this type of freezing cold here in Central Florida. And while officials say they aren't pre-treating roads like this one, they are doing everything they can to make sure that residents know what's going on, how to stay safe, how to save power, and how to stay vigilant. And emergency management officials, they say it's always best to plan ahead of cold weather like this. The county says if you need any resources from them, make sure you try to reach out as soon as possible so you can get what you need. I'm covering Marion County live tonight. Tony Atkins, WESH 2 News.
Taking you now to a live look at the SLS rocket on the launch pad as NASA prepares for the Artemis II launch.
WESH 2's Megan Moriarty is live from Kennedy Space Center after NASA officials decided to push back the wet dress rehearsal, which was originally set for Saturday.
Well, NASA has learned from past mistakes that cold weather can negatively impact not just the rocket, but the crew. And right now, a wet dress rehearsal needs to happen before they can actually launch. So instead of it happening tomorrow, it's now pushed to Monday. NASA says the earliest date for Artemis II to launch is February 8th at 11:20 p.m. And there are backup windows on both the 10th and 11th. As for Crew 12, they can launch as early as February 11th. Covering the Space Coast live at Kennedy Space Center, Megan Moriarty, WESH 2 News.
Our team coverage of the Florida freeze continues next at 5:30. The effort to get people who don't have a home off the streets before the worst of the cold gets here. Plus, the impact below freezing temperatures can have on theme park rides.
But first, a former deputy who admitted to shooting and killing a friend was back in court. The emotional testimony from the victim's family and friends. Plus,
I would wipe that smile off your face. I'm sorry.
New body camera video shows the moment Olympian Sha'Carri Richardson got pulled over right here in Central Florida.
The start of a new day in Central Florida. Make it great with WESH 2 News Sunrise.
Good morning.
Welcome to Sunrise.
I feel like I'm waking up to friends.
Don't get too excited, okay?
Nancy.
She's so relatable as a mom and a person in general.
Alan.
He just is a good, peppy person.
Eric.
Eric is excellent. Eric is the voice that I trust, the face that I trust.
Megan.
Really fun, very energetic.
It's a great way to start my day.
Start a new day with WESH 2 News Sunrise.
Happening now in Osceola County, there's a prescribed burn that's getting close to the turnpike. Check out this live look from Chopper 2. This is just south of St. Cloud. We're going to continue to monitor the situation and let you know if anything changes. The former Brevard County Sheriff's deputy who admitted to shooting and killing his friend and fellow deputy while playing a video game was back in court today. As part of his plea deal, Andrew Lawson was looking at the maximum sentence of 7 years in prison.
WESH 2's Justin Checker is live at the courthouse in Viera this evening. Justin, this 4-hour hearing just wrapped up. Did the judge hand down a sentence today?
And actually, Michelle, we thought it would be done by 5 o'clock, but the hearing is actually still going on at this hour. Former Deputy Austin Walsh's mother, Cheryl, is still giving her emotional victim impact statement before the judge. Now, she does not approve of the plea deal that's in place. She is asking the court for no downward departure to give Andrew Lawson the max 7-year sentence or move to trial. Andrew Lawson has already pleaded guilty to manslaughter. Again, Walsh's family wants him to get that maximum punishment of 7 years, while his defense attorney is arguing the sentence should be mental health rehabilitation. And today's hearing was a continuation from 2 weeks ago, as we still wait to learn the punishment for Andrew Lawson, who's pleaded guilty to manslaughter. Covering Brevard County Live in Viera, I'm Justin Checker, WESH 2 News.
Tony has spent the morning outside in the sun. I had long sleeves on. I had a jacket on. Too much. Overkill. This weekend, though, will be a different story.
I was just going to say, don't put those away.
I will not.
Yeah, you're going to need a double jacket, maybe. The bubble coat, right?
Yes.
Hey, let me take you back outside right now, folks. Beautiful day. Michelle is absolutely right. It felt so good out there. You know, if you got to walk in, good for you. Kudos ahead of the cold, because we've got a major wind machine coming tomorrow. You are going to know it. Look at these temperatures now, still in the 60s and the low 70s. And in case you missed it, maybe you just got home from work, our extreme cold weather watches have been upgraded to warnings. Remember now, that means we are expecting temperatures to be well below freezing for several hours. And we've got a hard freeze and freeze warnings here for all of Central Florida. And even the barrier islands have been included now in this freeze warning. I just showed you the freeze duration there over towards Melbourne on the sand, a 9 to 10 hour freeze duration in Brevard County. We take a look now at the satellite radar, just a couple showers. This storm system is dropping south and east. It really cranks up. Showed you Futurecast at the top of the hour. We'll show it to you again a little bit later on. But as it cranks up, it's going to start to pull in some moisture, and that will arrive in the morning hours, especially south of Daytona. Winter Garden 50, Wedgefield 49. Orange City, you're going to be about 46 degrees. Up to the north, no freeze or frost concerns tomorrow morning, but that changes abruptly as we get you into Saturday night, Sunday morning. Look at these highs tomorrow. Early on, we're going to be in the 50s, and then we're going to be dropping very quickly after the 5 o'clock hour. Now, we showed you that system up to the north. If you're looking for flurries, basically Interstate 75 West is probably going to be your best location, like western Pasco County. We've kind of bumped this up further to the north because of the position of that nor'easter a little bit farther away. So for those of you in Flagler County, we'll keep you posted on that. Tomorrow morning lows, Sunday morning lows. Ocala 19, DeLand 22, Titusville 24, Kissimmee, you're coming in at about 25 degrees. Now, this is 10 p.m. Saturday. Look at these feels-like temperatures, teens and 20s. Remember, we're going to have a screaming wind out of the northwest. There's 3 a.m., and then we jump to 7 a.m., single digits and low teens all across Central Florida. Freeze duration now, up and down I-4. Geneva, 24 degrees. Chuliota, 24. Oviedo, Altamont Springs, you're looking at about 11 to 12-hour freeze duration through the entire county. We get you into Orange County now. Zellwood 23, 11, 12-hour freeze there. Apopka, Bithlo, Wedgefield, Bay Lake, and Orlando 24 to 25. Osceola County, Kenansville 22 degrees, 10 to 12-hour freeze. Harmony, Point Siena, St. Cloud, Celebration, Kissimmee, all looking at double-digit hours in that freeze duration. I can't stress that enough. Now, once we get past sunrise, temperatures will warm up, oh boy, to the mid-40s here, and then we get you the Monday morning. Frigid, but not as cold. 22 Ocala, 28 Orlando, 28 back towards Palm Bay. So again, the coldest air in over a decade in Ocala. 19, 22, 28, up to 62 there by Tuesday afternoon. Want some good news? Let me go ahead and give it to you. High pressure slides to the east of us as we get you. Moderate by Wednesday before yet another cold front does arrive and brings us the chance for some more rain. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look now at Central Florida's most accurate inland 7-day forecast. Frigid Sunday and Monday, moderating on Wednesday. Quick chance for some rain there with that next front by Thursday.
First warning weather on WESH 2 is sponsored by Del Air.
We now have the body camera video showing the moment an Orange County deputy pulled over Olympic track star Sha'Carri Richardson, accused of super speeding.
I would wipe that smile off your face. I'm Sergeant McDaniels with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. You're being stopped for dangerous excessive speeding. Going to be 429 northbound at Stony Brook.
Deputies arrested Richardson yesterday afternoon. She's accused of going 104 miles an hour on State Road 429 near Stony Brook Parkway. She's since bonded out of jail. We're still going through this video, and we'll bring you more information tonight on WESH 2 News.
The coldest air Central Florida has seen in years is about to settle in this weekend.
We've got more team coverage coming up at 5:30, including how theme parks make sure rides can handle the cold temperatures.
Plus, a child hit by an adult on a school bus. What investigators say the bus driver did instead of helping.
News starts now.
The Florida freeze is around the corner. Right now, it's 71 degrees in Orlando, but by Sunday night into Monday, the low could be 25.
Wow, we have team coverage this half hour, including the effort to help get the homeless off the street and into shelters, and the impact these freezing temperatures can have on theme park rides here in Orlando.
We begin with First Warning Chief Meteorologist Tony Manalfi, though.
So, Tony, there is a chance that some areas could see flurries this weekend. Are we talking here in Central Florida?
We are not talking along I-4. We are talking west of 75, closer towards Tampa on the north side, and possibly as the storm cranks up into northern Flagler County. Let me show you why. Here's the deal. You can see we've got that low cranking on up. That's going to generate a tremendous amount of wind early tomorrow afternoon. That's why we have the impact weather for your Saturday afternoon. Gusts could be as high as 40 to 50 miles an hour on the backside of this storm system. So a quick shot of rain early in the morning, and then as the storm cranks on up, we may be able, because of the winds, rotate some moisture back towards Flagler. Don't think it's going to make it as far south as Volusia. And then here, as we get you into the Gulf, some of the moisture may come ashore from Tampa all the way up just west of Denellen, initially as some sprinkles and then potentially as a couple of flurries. So for me, if you're looking for any chance to see a flake or two, I like 75. I'm not ruling out Flagler County, but I just believe that the chances are far greater, not that they're great, to go west as opposed to north. 19 in Ocala. The big story, is going to be the frigid temperatures. 24 in Sanford, 24 in Titusville, 24 on into Palm Bay. And then when you take a look at the feels like temperatures, this is a snapshot at 10 p.m. Teens and low 20s for those of you that are going to be out Saturday night. 3 a.m., 10 to 15. 7 a.m., single digits and low teens everywhere. So the freeze duration now for Marion County, 12 to 14 hours from Denellen to Bellevue to Ocala to Salt Springs. Let's head south to Sumter County, 21, both the villages in Rutland, 11 to 12-hour freeze there. Bushnell and Webster, also an 11-hour to 12-hour freeze duration. Last but not least, Astor, Paisley, Umatilla, Leesburg, 11 to 12. Mount Dora, Eustis, Claremont, and Groveland, you're looking at about a 10 to 12-hour freeze duration. We'll take you down I-95 with those freeze duration maps coming up here in the next half hour. Guys, back to you.
County leaders and local nonprofits and churches are getting ready for the extreme drop in temperatures. WESH 2's Luana Munoz is joining us live from Orange County. And Luana, lots of preparations are underway right now across Central Florida, and it's to keep people safe.
Oh, absolutely right, Michelle. It's hard to believe with this gorgeous weather out here right now that everything is about to change in just a matter of days. But I talked with leaders out in Brevard, Osceola, and Orange counties. They are gearing up, prepping everything right now, making sure no one gets left out in the cold. So there is a lot going on out there, so no one should get left out in the cold. Matthews Hope is going to start on Saturday, picking up people in both Orange and Brevard counties and taking them to their shelters. The Lynx bus system will take you for free to any shelter. Also down in Osceola County, there are 2 shelters that will open up tomorrow, and then on Sunday they will open up a 3rd out in Point Siena. All of the information that I just mentioned can be found on our website right now at WESH.com. So if you know someone who needs a place to go, please direct them there. Covering Central Florida tonight, live in Orlando, I'm Luana Munoz. We'll send it back to you.
And remember, our WESH 2 News weather team is working around the clock to keep you up to date on changes to our forecast. So for the latest details, download the WESH 2 News app and turn on alerts for breaking updates.
A woman has pleaded guilty in the murder of an elderly man outside an Orange County drugstore. 78-year-old Yukon Cummings was gunned down after picking up a prescription exactly 4 years ago in Pine Hills. Investigators say Javon White and Jasmine Monroe were trying to carjack him. Monroe was in court this morning. She agreed to plead guilty to accessory after the fact to a capital felony. Prosecutors agreed to drop a first-degree murder charge against her as long as she testifies against White. If she doesn't testify, she could get 30 years in prison. Monroe's sentencing won't happen until White's case is resolved. He's set to go on trial in April.
A former Daytona Beach police officer turned teacher is back in jail in Volusia County. Sheriff Mike Chitwood says Amber Williamson was arrested last week for fentanyl trafficking, but was released on her own recognizance, which was a move that he strongly opposed. 2 days later, she was rearrested on 2 additional felony trafficking warrants and is now being held with no bond. Chitwood criticized the original release. Afterward, he says the judge received a death threat, which Chitwood condemned.
I do want to caution everybody. You are allowed to have a discursive debate in this country, okay? You can debate a judge's ruling. You can debate what the sheriff does. You could debate anything. You could have strong feelings about what happened. But when you start threatening somebody with death or physical harm or their family, you have crossed the line. And that's going to get you locked up. And if that's what you're looking for, we're going to come and get you.
Chitwood says they are investigating the threat and that a felony charge is unlikely. However, he says they are at least trying to get the person charged with a misdemeanor.
Tonight, Orange County Public Schools is honoring the best of the best staff.
The Stellar Awards are just getting started at the Rosen Shingle Creek, and our very own Nancy Alvarez and Alan Campbell are the hosts for tonight's event, and they're joining us live right now. Hey, guys.
Hey guys, how are you? Good afternoon. Hey, who says people that wake up at 2:30 in the morning can't party?
Nancy,
look at us.
It is 5:40 p.m.
Yeah.
The sun is up. We look good.
We're
here
good,
to have
man.
a great time
We're
tonight.
ready. We're here for teacher prom. We're
Absolutely.
here for it, and it is so exciting. This is really a huge celebration of the very best of Orange County Public Schools, a district that's now the 8th largest in the whole country.
And you can see by just the amount of people behind us here, 1,800 people here tonight, hundreds of honorees. This is going to be a fantastic evening. This is the 2025-26 Stellar Awards.
I have these people waving here. This is the Teacher of the Year nominee from Gotham Middle School and her support squad. Very exciting. They were waiting to wave on the air. Yeah, Alan, this is just going to be a great night for everyone involved. These teachers, you know, these employees, they bring their families, and it's all just really, really special.
We've got so many different categories tonight. We've got so many different people to honor. We're going to be honoring Principal of the Year, Assistant Principal, Support Person of the Year,
District Administrator, and then, of course,
the Teacher of the Year. That's the big one.
Be tonight. So, Alan and I have to go because we're actually working.
In fact, first I'm going to grab an hors d'oeuvre real quick.
Go get hors d'oeuvres. Okay. He's going to get hors d'oeuvres. We're going to go MC. And, of course, we're going to have all the winners for you later tonight on WESH 2. Back to you guys.
Have a great time. We can't wait to see the winners. Thank you, Nancy and Alan. All right, still ahead, Central Florida is about to go on a pretty wild ride when it comes to the weather, and Central Florida theme parks will need to make changes to keep up. What needs to happen before the coasters roll in the cold at SeaWorld Orlando?
Closed captioning is sponsored by attorney Dan Newlin.
When you get your weather forecast from WESH 2,
you get the advantage. We guide you through every forecast the same way.
With accuracy, never hype.
With clarity, not confusion.
Trust Chief Meteorologist Tony Manalfi and WESH 2 First Warning Weather.
Can coasters operate in the cold? They can up north, where they're used to the frigid air.
Obviously, here in Central Florida, SeaWorld Orlando is taking steps to make sure the chill doesn't impact the thrill because we're not up north. WESH's Christina Watkins explains how the theme park is getting ready. Okay, now as for water parks, SeaWorld's Aquatica is closed today through at least Sunday. Walt Disney World's Typhoon Lagoon is also closed starting tomorrow through Tuesday. Universal Orlando's Volcano Bay is closed tomorrow and Sunday, basically throughout the weekend.
Yeah. Tony, can we just take like a quick moment and enjoy the beautiful weather we have today before we get into this deep cold?
I like your idea.
Thank you.
Because we're going to be so frigid the next 40
We
days.
are.
Let me take you back outside. Michelle was peeking, as she always does, over my shoulder.
It's perfect.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Low 70s today here in Central Florida. I hope you got the chance to get out there and get a little walking, get your steps in. I know that my good friend Stu is trying to get 10,000 in a day. We'll chat with him a little bit later on. Easy for me to say. Mid 60s up to the north, low 70s down to the south. Listen, here's the important news. All right, you're getting home now. You're putting on the TV. The extreme cold watches have been upgraded to warnings. That means we are expecting a long duration freeze. That means we are expecting wind chills to be in the teens and the single digits. Remember, the last time we've had something like this, you got to go back to December 13th and 14th, 2010 for it to be as cold as what we are about to experience. And even the barrier islands are under a freeze warning. Just to give you a little bit of perspective. On top of that, these wind chills are going to drop so much because this big wind machine really cranks up from 3 o'clock through 7 a.m. Sunday morning. That's going to help drive down those wind chills into the single digits and teens. There's the beginnings of our nor'easter up to our north. We're in the warm sector tonight. Low 50s, a lot of clouds around. Showers arriving down south, I think, right around 6 to 8 o'clock in the morning. Lows tonight, frost-free, freeze-free. Upper 40s to around the 50-degree mark. Up to the north and west, low 40s Ocala. Right around 50 in Melbourne, Palm Bay, Grant, Valcaria, and Mico. Let's take a look at Futurecast here. Brand new run. Oh, it's so brand new that it's taken out all of my pause points, but you saw a little chance for a couple of flurries up north, and we had some flurries very early Sunday morning there on the west coast. Temperatures tomorrow looking like this: 53 up in Ocala, 58 in Orlando, 62 in Melbourne. I'll get those pause points back in for that next weather. But here's the bottom line. You got this big nor'easter, and what it's going to do is turn the winds back towards our coast here, our northeast coast, and then off of the Gulf. That strong low is going to pull in some moisture, and it may be enough to generate a couple of flurries into Flagler County. I actually think, though, that the better chance for seeing a flurry is going to be Saturday night, Sunday morning up here towards the Nature Coast from Tampa on north. I've kind of highlighted. I'm going to keep northern Flagler in, but again, the bigger story is not so much the chance of seeing flurries. Of course, it's the cold temperature, so let's get right to that. 19 in Ocala, 22 in DeLand, 21 in Wildwood. These are the actual air temperatures now. St. Cloud coming in at 25. 9, 10 o'clock, wind chills already in the teens and the lower 20s. Let's jump ahead to 3 a.m. Not that you're going to be out in this, but 10 to 15, 16 degrees back towards Titusville at sun up. Single digits up north, 10 to 15 here in the metro area. Some of the coldest weather we've had since 2010. All right, freeze duration maps. Very, very, very important here now for folks all across Central Florida. There's a theme here. This is the I-4 half hour. We'll go to I-95 coming up at 6. Geneva, Chuliota, Lake Mary, Sanford, Oviedo, Altamont Springs. Not a big spread in temperatures with that wind. An 11 to 12-hour freeze duration. Now, we head south here into Orange County. Again, not a big spread in temperatures like you would imagine because of the wind. Freeze duration, 10 to 12 hours. One more stop for our good friends here in Osceola County. Once again, a lot of wind, not a big spread in temperatures, but a long duration freeze of 10 to 12 hours. So let's take a look at these highs now. Sunday afternoon, mid 40s. That's actually colder than our normal overnight lows this time of the year. Oh, you're going back to work and school, huh? Better be prepared for that. 22 to about 28 degrees. We're in the grips of old man winter. And then as we head into the middle of next week, woohoo, 71 on Wednesday. It's going to be a party.
First Warning Weather on WESH 2 is sponsored by your Southern Lexus dealer.
A Central Florida woman is in a race of her own to complete 100 marathons.
74-year-old Gloria Vasquez is a mother, a grandmother, and a trailblazer from Colombia who has been running all of her life. She crossed the finish line at 15 New York City marathons and 4 Boston marathons. And this Sunday, she will be running in her 97th race in Jacksonville, benefiting breast cancer patients and research.
This is very special because my sister passed away 10 years ago of breast cancer. So I said to myself, I'm going to run this race in her honor because we were very close. She was such a wonderful sister. When I came to this country, she helped me through everything with my kids. So this is a way to honor her.
That is such a special moment for her. Vasquez hopes to complete her 100th marathon at the New York City Marathon. She's going to do it.
Oh, she's got a whole town of people cheering for her.
We'll be rooting for her.
Oh, yeah. All right, West News at 6 is straight ahead.
Stuart Moore is joining us now with what's coming up in our next half hour. Stuart.
Guys, we are getting you ready for the cold weather moving into our area over the weekend. Marion County will likely see some of the coldest temperatures. What emergency crews are doing right now to ensure people stay safe. Plus, firefighters are sending out a big warning tonight as you try and stay warm this weekend. Carbon monoxide, space heaters, fireplaces, so many different things that if not done right could have major consequences. Their message at 6.
Watch NBC Nightly News weeknights at 6:30 on WESH 2.